Hey guys, I'm back after a bit of a break. I took some time this summer to focus on some life events, one of them being my wedding. So I thought it would be fun to hop on and talk about the wines I chose for my wedding and provide some advice for anyone who's choosing wine for their own wedding or large event. So the first thing you want to consider is venue and time of year. I knew that I wanted to have an outdoor summer wedding, so I was going to need to choose wines that my guests would want to drink on a hot day. So the first wine I chose was an Albarino. It's a Spanish white wine with stone fruit flavors and a touch of salinity. It's delicious. It makes you feel like you're at the beach. I actually don't have it pictured here because it was so popular at the wedding. I don't have any more bottles, but it was a great choice for the event. I wanted to keep a consistent theme. So to go along with my Spanish white wine, I wanted to choose a Spanish red wine. So I went with this Rioja Crianza. Rioja is a region of Spain. They produce a lot of wine from the grape Tempranillo. And Crianza is a style of wine aging where the wine is aged in barrel for up to a year and then aged in bottle for a few months after that. So it has a shorter aging process, making it a little bit less complex, a little bit more of an easy drinking wine compared to some of the other wines coming out of Rioja. So it was great for a hot day in the summer. I also wanted to choose wines that would pair well with food, between hors d'oeuvres and dinner and cake. There's a lot of flavors to consider, so picking a food-friendly wine is really important. And both Albarino and Tempranillo have high acidity, which is a staple for food-friendly wines. Now, I wanted my guests to be able to have a little bit more variety, and I also wanted to please my guests with some bolder tastes. So for my next couple wines, I went more of a sentimental route and chose wines from the Pacific Northwest. That's where Ramsey and I were planning to honeymoon, so I thought it would be cool to give everybody a little taste of where we were going. So the first wine I chose was a Chardonnay from the Willamette Valley. It is an unoaked Chardonnay, so it's not quite as buttery as some of the traditional Chardonnays you might be used to, but it is a fuller, rounder wine that was a great contrast with the Albarino and still very drinkable in 94-degree weather. And for my second wine, I went with this delicious Syrah from Washington's Founding Winery. And this dark fruit, vanilla, robust wine was a great contrast to the red fruit and tobacco notes that you would get in a Tempranillo. So all four wines were available at the bar, but I also had bottles of the Spanish wine on every table during dinner. That way people didn't have to get up and go to the bar during that time. And I actually skipped the champagne at the reception. It's surprisingly not as popular at weddings as one might think, and it's quite expensive. So it's a good way to save money if you don't really love champagne. I do love champagne, so I had it when I was getting ready with my bridesmaids, but I didn't buy cases of it for the reception. I also chose wines that I love within a budget that was reasonable for me. And I really think anybody can do this with a little bit of research. I was really proud of these wines, and I don't think that they seemed like budget wines at all to my guests. So I hope you found these tips helpful. And if you want some more personal advice for your next large event or your wedding, feel free to email me at mollysPalette@gmail.com.